Let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts. This team is tied in the first place in the AFC South Division with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. And this has been a very successful season with this team. More than likely, they will make the NFL playoffs. And this is a great thing for this franchise. If you just go back the last couple of seasons, this team has been through hell, and this franchise has been through hell as well ever since Andrew Luck went down. And when Andrew Luck was on the roster, the offensive line was not up to standard, and they did not have the right players around him to protect him. So he went on, he retired. They went and hired Frank Reich. They had Jacoby Brissett starting some games. He wasn't the answer. They went to Carson Wentz. He wasn't the answer either. They made the playoffs with Phillip Rivers. And not in that order. I'm just naming the quarterbacks that they have had in the last couple of years. And then they had a washed up Matt Ryan who had a terrible tenure with this team. And in a span of just 1 year, they hired Shane Steichen, and everything has been very good with this team. They have always had talent the last couple of years. They just didn't have the right quarterback with this team. And Shane Steichen is a very good head coach. And in my opinion, you can make the argument that he is coach of the year right now. He has came in and he has transformed the culture and this team as a whole. Gardner Minshew has been the starting quarterback for the majority of this season, but it wasn't supposed to be this way. This team had a third overall pick and they selected Anthony Richardson. And in the games he played and the snaps that he played for this team, he looked very good because Shane Steichen is one of the brilliant offensive minds in the NFL. Look at the work that he was able to do with Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts. And neither one of those quarterbacks have been the same since he left their side. But you look at what he's been able to do with Gardner Minshew. 14 touchdowns on the season, 8 interceptions. And Gardner Minshew is a top-end backup in the NFL. He's not even a top 10 or top 15 quarterback, but they're still finding ways to win with him at the helm when he takes care of the football and when they can run the football. And speaking of running the football, Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss has been a very good 1-2 punch for this team. Zach Moss early on the season was very good. 764 rushing yards on the season and 5 rushing touchdowns. But they have dealt with injuries. Jonathan Taylor's missed the last couple games dealing with a thumb injury. Zach Moss has missed some time as well. Trey Sermon comes in out of nowhere and has a great game against the Steelers. They run all up and down the field on them, and they're getting them involved in the pass game as well. And don't forget Michael Pittman Jr. He's dealing with a concussion right now, but he has over 1,000 yards on the season and 4 receiving touchdowns. And he has been the elite wide receiver for this team. Chris Routes, extremely good hands, and is just a very good playmaking wide receiver for this team. Alec Pierce is also another good wide receiver for this team. I expect more from him moving forward. Only 426 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Then you have Josh Downs, who has 631 receiving yards and 2 receiving touchdowns, and he's a rookie with this team. So you know these guys are going to continue to get better. And with them making this playoff push right now, they're ahead of schedule in this rebuilding phase, if you want to call it that. It's just very good to see this team be in the situation that they're in right now, because easily they could be one of the worst teams in the NFL when Anthony Richardson went down. That's why I love the signing of going out there and getting Gardner Minshew, get that veteran quarterback, and have him go out and help out Anthony Richardson early on in the season with his development. And the offensive line has been very solid as well, with Quentin Nelson being one of the best guards in the NFL, Ryan Kelly being solid at that center position, and Braden Smith being very good at that tackle position. But it's more than just the offense with this team. Their defense has been clicking as well, especially their front seven. Kwity Paye has 7.5 sacks on the season and 2 forced fumbles. He is starting to develop into that first round pick a couple of years ago when they selected him in the first round. He's been very good this season against stopping the run and just getting pressure and sacking the quarterback. DeForest Buckner, you guys know I love him. 6 sacks on the season, 2 forced fumbles. Grover Stewart has missed some time this season dealing with a suspension, but he's still a very strong defensive tackle for this team. Taven Bryan is also a very good run stopper for this team as well. They have a good rotation at that defensive line position when it comes to subbing guys in and putting guys out to get pressure and also just continue to stop the run. You also look at Zaire Franklin, the best tackler on this team. He's been very good at the linebacking spot. You look at this team right here and you will say, hey, they cut Shaq Leonard. What was up with that? Shaq Leonard was not the same player he was a couple years ago. He wasn't forcing the fumbles and he wasn't getting the sacks on the quarterback, and he wasn't that good in coverage with this team either. So they made a business decision to cut him a few weeks ago, and it's helped this team out more on the defensive side. And I like Shaq Leonard as a player, but that was a good decision by the general manager to get things going. Chris Ballard has done a very good job of keeping this roster intact and by getting very good talent for this coach and Shane Steichen, and also bringing Shane Steichen in as well. Their secondary has been very good when it's been fully healthy. Juju Brents has missed some time this season, but when the games and the snaps that he's played, he has been very good with this team. You could say that he's the best cover corner with this team at times. But Kenny Moore, to me, that's the best cover corner on this team. That is just how good they are in that secondary right now. You have Julian Blackmon, solid safety. Rodney Thomas is a solid safety as well. They have the pieces. And the reason why I'm saying this is because of this right here. This team could easily go out and win this division. You have a strong win over the Houston Texans early in the year. And the Jacksonville Jaguars do not look the same right now. And the Houston Texans are going through injuries with not having Tank Dell and with CJ being out with a concussion. This is a very good year for the Indianapolis Colts. They just have to keep things and just stay focused. That's all they have to do. If they can go out and make the playoffs, Shane Steichen is easily my coach of the year. I understand DeMeco Ryans just came in. He transformed the Houston Texans. But look at what this Colts team was before Shane Steichen. This team went out and hired a TV analyst in Jeff Saturday. Even though he was a great player with this team, he didn't have coaching experience. They brought him in last season after they fired Frank Reich. And they did beat the Las Vegas Raiders. But at the same time, this team had to go out and hire Jeff Saturday to be the interim head coach. This team was a complete disaster. In just under a year, Shane Steichen has come in, transformed everything, and he's doing this with a backup quarterback. Imagine what this team is going to be like if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy. And I do want to talk about Anthony Richardson before I let you guys go. Has great potential in this system with Shane Steichen. What he was able to do with Jalen Hurts inside and outside the pocket, he can do the same thing with Anthony Richardson in this system with a healthy Jonathan Taylor, with a healthy Zach Moss. It's going to be scary to watch out for this team for the next couple of years. Only if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy. If he could take care of himself on the field, this sky is the limit for this team. But let me know in the comment section below, am I overhyping the Indianapolis Colts? And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, I want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.